All right, so we're going to walk through a perfectly competitive long-run equilibrium example where we'll have a market start out in equilibrium and then get pushed out by some exogenous event and then see how the re-equilibration takes place. So what we see here is on the left, the supply and demand for the market as a whole with equilibrium price P1, equilibrium quantity Q1. On the right is one representative firm. So I'm going to call this firm I, one of many perfectly competitive firms. And we see their perfectly elastic demand curve at that price level P1. So we can label that, call that DI1. And that's also their marginal revenue. And we set marginal cost equal to marginal revenue to get their profit maximizing level of output. So if we want to show this initial situation as a long-run equilibrium, remember we have to add that element of every firm making zero economic profit. So to show that, we have to add the average total cost curve just touching that demand curve at the same point it intersects marginal cost. So at the optimal point, price equals average total cost and profit is zero. So that's kind of the initial situation. Call that combination there, 0.1 on both diagrams. Okay. And the market will sit there until something pushes it in one direction or another. So in our example here, let's imagine that the market demand for this product increases for any one of the reasons that we've talked about, right? So increase in income, change in the price of related goods, change in expectations, anything along those lines could cause that market demand to increase. So if we just sketch that out, let's put that in red here. So we get a new demand curve off to the right, call that demand curve D2. And of course, we know what's going to happen, right? It's going to create a shortage and it's going to push that price level up. So we go from P1 up to P2, from 0.1 up to 0.2 here. And for every individual firm's point of view, their perfectly elastic demand curve has shifted up. They can charge that new price level. So we can draw that new marginal revenue line straight across. And they're going to reassess their profit maximizing level of output, right? At that higher price, they can cover that marginal cost at higher levels of output, and they'll produce at QI2. You can imagine there's 100 other firms doing exactly this, moving up from 0.1 to 0.2. So our increase in demand increases price, and for the individual firm, price is now above average total cost, and we're generating positive profits for each firm, right? So we see that gap here, price at P2 above average total cost at quantity QI2. And to match on the left, big Q2, right, will be here. And so just remember the quantities on the left, the market quantities, are the sums of all of the individual firms' level of output, right? So we could write big Q1 is the sum of all the little QI ones, where I goes from 1 to call it N1. Right? And Q2 is the sum across the same firms, I equal 1 to N1, of that new individual firm output, QI2, where we're saying N1 is the initial number of firms in the market, right? How many firms are we summing across? And we can call 0.2 a short-run equilibrium, right? Price has adjusted to the new demand, firms have adjusted to the new price, and we will sit there for a while, but not forever, right? Because in a perfectly competitive industry, profit acts as that magnet, right? So in the long run, that's going to bring new firms in, new competition is going to come in. And that's going to set things back into motion. So in the long run, positive profit for the firm leads to more competition, an increase in the number of firms. And as new firms come in, that's going to shift our supply curve to the right. So let's shift to green here in the long run. So new firms start producing, attracted by that profit. That supply curve is going to start to drift off to the right, and that's going to push prices back down, and the individual firm is going to see their price line, their demand curve, that perfectly elastic marginal revenue line, start to drift back down. So increase in supply as new firms come in, that's going to push prices down, and price is going to come back towards average total cost, and profit is going to fall as well. And this is going to keep happening as long as new firms have an incentive to enter, and it's only going to stop when profit drops all the way back to zero. And where is profit equal to zero? Well, back at the original price level, P1, right? So we're going to get a new long-run position of that supply curve, S2, that brings our price all the way back to where it started. So price goes up from P1 to P2, profit's positive, new firms come in, that pushes price back down. And as that happens, right, the firms are going to be producing back at their original point. So each firm produced more for a little while as price was higher, and then they came back down. But notice the total amount of output, due to the combination of higher demand and higher supply, is going to be all the way up here at Q3. So just note that the new market output Q3 is the sum of the same level of output QI1, but it's across more firms. So N2 is our new level of number of firms in the market, bigger than what it was before. So that accounts for the increase in output here. So the lesson, I guess, is, right, as always in a competitive market, if you're in a situation where you have positive economic profit, enjoy it while you can, because it's not going to last. New firms are going to come in and compete that profit away by pushing prices back down. All right, hope that was helpful.